To actually use this burn color in the render tree, I'm going to set up another set data node by copying and pasting, and establish an animated stream for this burn color in the terminal port of my ice tree. For this burn color, I'm going to get a gradient, and I'll pull the gradient into my graph, and if I set my burn color according to the gradient, I'll just set two colors. At the beginning of the particle's life, we want them to be white, and at the end of the particle's life, we want them to be red at the tip. So the red color will basically last longer than the 0 position, which represents the birth or the age percentage. So next I'm going to get the particle age percentage. I want to determine the percentage of the particle's age, how long it's lived, and from there use that to drive the colors in the gradient. So the higher the age percentage, the closer to position 1 will be used as the gradient color to set the burn color. I'm going to have to rescale my particle percentage to kind of clamp the transition. Now I'm not actually going to be able to see the burn color because the color right now being described is my actual color attribute, the one using the color at vertex map. If I want a really quick way of just being able to test this, I could temporarily hook the gradient into my color attribute and work the rescale values. So if I move to frame 2, I could then start to change my target end to see if I can't get this gradient to work along the tip of the particle. Now I might need to reverse my gradient color here. Oh, and of course this won't work animated because I'm just initializing color. So let me actually just plug my gradient into a set particle color. So if I look under color, I'll set the particle color and I'll input it into port 3 of the ice tree. So there we go. So I'm starting to get the color of the particles moving along the burnt end of the particle stream. So we can actually raise the target end value to extend the red further up the cigarette. And you can see it burns away quickly. So I'm just going to keep the tip of the cigarette red. We can actually reduce this even more by lowering the target end value. But I'll use a value of -10 to start. So this won't actually get picked up. I mean, if I render this right now, this won't get picked up at all because I haven't set the colors through the render tree. But it'll be a combination now between mixing this new burn color, so I've actually succeeded in getting this effect to work properly. So I'll take the output gradient color and drive that back in to define my burn color. I can delete my set particle color node or compound, and I'll set the color at vertex map back to the initial color of the cigarette. So we won't actually see the particles being eaten away with little bits of red here until we combine these two colors in the render tree, and it's actually very easy to do that. We also want to test to make sure that we can actually rotate this rig. So if I was to rotate the rig and the character is holding onto the cigarette this way, would the effect still work? And the answer, as we can see, is yes, it definitely does. So let's finish off this effect by getting the self.burn color to actually burn away and make it look like it's burning away the particles. So we can can move on into the render tree.